Hello and welcome back to the Guns and Glory show. It's the 21st April 2025 and the water has breached the road here. I know why and I know how to fix it, so I'm not worried about it. These pipes that I had put under the ground here, only one of them was flowing and not very much, and until it started raining it could handle the load. However, it's filled up too high because the water couldn't get through there and it's breached over here, and we have quite a flow. You can see the water and stuff flowing in it. If it wasn't all a bunch of raindrops on it right now, it'd be easier to see it. So for about 60 bucks I can get a culvert that's single wall. I think they're 8 inches, which is plenty. And I'll have to dig that up, put that in there this summer. Unfortunately, that'll have to be done by hand. And all these rocks that are hanging out here everywhere, I'm gonna grab those all up and throw them in here and build a dike. Pack it full of dirt. Once it becomes root bound, it'll hold it, it'll direct the water down and through my pipe. That rock down there with the blue on it has been the high water mark for the past, well, since I bought the place, for 4 years now, and this is the highest it's ever been. So, I have a little project this summer. It's not a big deal. This is easily correctable, and frankly, this won't stay wet until like August anyway. It'll dry out in a couple of weeks, so I'm not real worried about it, but I have to fix it. The 8-inch culvert is on the property. That boy's 20 feet long, and I managed to pull it home with this thing. August 1st, 2025, we're at the intersection of my neighbor's driveway and the airport range. Just gotta drag this big old snake down there. It's probably sound pretty neat. Smoothed up a little bit once I got it on the runway. Down here at the abyss, that thing's like probably 12, 15 feet deep. And we had those 3 pieces of 4-inch in there, and 2 of them worked, 1 of them didn't. And we just got to go over there with it. The first one's there, then there's one in the center, and then that one's just peeking out over there. Got more than enough length, and that'll flow plenty of water through that. I'm not even worried about it. Okay, one of the little technical difficulties that I had before was that those come out and then they go down, and that doesn't pick up the water very well. It does that on this side of things too. So I need to support this bigger tube to make sure it don't do that like it's offering to do right now. The solution that I have is just to put an angle iron on it from one side to the other. And I got a bed frame in the trailer that we can do just that with. Suppose I got some welding to do today and it's hot. Oh well. Well, this is the bed frame that I'm about to weld together. I gotta grab the rivets out of there real quick. That way I can flip them over 180 degrees and then weld them together, and then I can make that little channel to hold up that pipe. Out here working on this culvert, I figured to take the bend out of that thing, I'll just take a channel and set it in the hole and set this on it. It's just a bed frame that got welded together. Not real sure how long it is, but it's long enough. Out here at the airport range in the intersection of the neighbor's driveway. He came out here today and put the culvert and the culvert extension in it, and looks like he did a pretty good job. The concrete is there to kind of help hold things together. It was an idea he had. It probably worked pretty well. That's thunder. I'm gonna have to go get the plants in the house in a minute. He bought a micro excavator. Well, he rented one. It's only 2,000 pounds and it's woefully inadequate, but we'll make this little repair here work temporarily. I have to go from that string 45 degrees down to account for the slope that it's going to create for itself when nature does its thing out here. So we got just enough dirt. Now, next year, he's going to rent a bigger machine because I've got a lot of work that I want to do on the property, and since he doesn't know how to do it, I get to use the machine for a day in exchange for repairing the intersection here. So I'll be able to get a lot done next August. Just got to be patient. It's August 23rd, 2025. It's windy, but it's pleasant. It's not very hot, and the wind keeps the bugs down. We got a micro excavator on the property. It's a Wacker Neuson. Weighs 2,180 pounds, 3 cylinders. You can't steer the stabilizer bar, and it doesn't have a claw. However, it'll reach out 10 feet and it goes down about 5.5. And it was enough for my neighbor and his friend to take care of this morning. That's good enough for this year. We're actually going to bring that out level with that rock next year. He was originally going to put a 24-footer in here. Then we thought about putting an extension on the pipe. But now we think we're just going to stack a bunch of concrete bags out there and make a retaining wall out of it. It's fine with me either way, as long as it's straight. Give me a place to land and give us a place to drive. That's August 23rd, 2025. Got my neighbor Dean in the orange cabin, his friend, and this hilarious little machine. But for now, it'll do to get us started. You know what? That stupid machine is $40,000 new. I would have been out here this morning, but I was sick as heck yesterday. I didn't get up until like 9:30, which is ridiculous. Okay, the next order of business with this thing, I'm at the first culvert. This used to be Dean's old road. And the water flows from the left to the right. So I'm going to dig that out a little bit so it don't plug up. Got a busy beaver here over there this spring, and it's no longer a problem. And on this side, there's no need to dig it deep, but we had to have all this dirt. So we got a hole. I'm going to actually grab the dirt over here and get off of this machine and move it over here because I'm losing this bank right here. And this road's getting a little bit skinny, so we need to make that wider. And about a half an hour later, got that little ditch filled up. This one's dug out pretty good. And so is that one. I got this one filled in really good. That's dug out all the way down there. So that'll make one little lake. And that will clear itself in the spring because there's a whole lot of water that comes through there. I'm not even worried about it. Now that rock wasn't level. And since it's so flat on the top, I figured that's a good setting rock. So I got hold of it with a bucket, picked it up, and threw a little dirt under there, got it leveled up. Out at the front gate, and I got to put in 2 fence posts because, well, this one's crooked. So is that one behind me. That one actually bent at the bottom. But I couldn't dig deep enough on this old road. It's been here for 35 years. So I got that as deep as I could. It wasn't good enough. Now I got a machine, pull the boulders up. I'm gonna dig a couple of holes. We'll set them fence posts. And I'd like to rotate that one 90 degrees this way. Well, you learn as you go. There. Okay, you learn as you go. I need to measure 10 feet between that pole and that pole, but I stuck the pile right there. Don't do that. Fence posts are in. Sorry about the wind. Just kicked up. Need to move that one back and just a little to the right, but those are in level and deep enough to work. I got that rock rotated where it ought to be. Put a little clear coat on it to cover up them scratches. And the post is sitting right there at 10 feet where it needs to be. Got to do the other half of the culvert at the neighbor's driveway in the range, and then off to the culvert at the base of the range. But one thing about this little thing, it's got a beeper. It's right here. You just unplug that little wire, and you've got it. You don't got to hear that thing beeping all day. See See, now it doesn't beep all the day. Let's get back to work. Now I gotta clear out this side of the culvert. I took one scoop out of there and thought, hey, I should get the camera. We gotta take that whole chunk out to the right. And then I'm gonna put a shelf here and maybe a plant, same thing on that side. Another thing, if you put the stabilizer bar, AKA the blade, in the back when you're digging, it's more stable. I wish I'd known that last year. I was watching some tutorial on how to run this thing and found out. This is about as good as I can get it with that machine. I can't go any deeper with it. I'm about a foot below, it'll probably fill in with dirt. It's probably 6 inches below the bottom lip of that tube. And I was able to shore up that rock a little bit. But this isn't as steep as it needs to be, and I'm just kind of out of dirt. I put a big old root ball on this side, but again, I can't reach as far as I would like. Now, I got a rock stuck in the track, and it wouldn't move, and it's right on this precipice with the stabilizer bar in the back. Of course, the controls for moving it are backwards, so I'm a little tipsy. And since it was stuck and I didn't want to chance it, I just grabbed the Avy and a tow strap and it just drug it back where I could get the tracks clear again. All is well and no harm done. Now, I pulled up the runway, except I forgot one stake, at least on one side of the runway anyhow, and that way I'll be able to drive it down there without tearing that up. We're out here on Point Blank Trail. And I'm digging a ditch because the water start coming down through here and it'll cross that road right through here, and I want to put it in the ditch and bring it around here and drop it right in here, and then it can go on through that way. I got that little ditch put in. That'll keep the water where it belongs and where it's going. I was also able to shove the other side of that road over a little bit so that I could make this turn in the Avy. I decided to fix that up a little bit more, make it a little bit wider, shove that dirt over to the right just a little bit farther. And the range is the high spot here. That hill drains out, and I need that to go around that and into my ditch so it can go under the road with this culvert that I'm putting in right now. I suppose we'll get this beam here, put it in the hole. Straighten it out. I gotta go fetch the level. It's up by the gate. And this needs to slope down to the right, which it is, but not nearly that much. This is the abyss. And it seems to have filled up about 3 feet just from dirt settling around. I got that basically headed downhill and supported in the center. I found a rebar, so that'll hold up the back end of it. Let's put the pipe in the hole. It looks good to me. I'll have to cut that end off about 3 or 4 feet, but I planned on that. We're gonna leave that stick out. See, I got it tied to that thing with a string, that metal thing. I'll basically keep it where it needs to be. Well, I'd say that turned out pretty good overall. Got that nice and smooth, flat. I pulled a little bit of dirt from the left here. I wanted to make that berm continuous up to my trail anyway. But I needed more dirt because I wanted to go over this side a little bit. I could have put a little more over here. I'll probably just grab that big root ball right there by hand and stick it there. And the pipe goes through there like a snake, but it does go through there. At first I saw that, I was like, uh-oh. And then I noticed that it was just a little bit crooked. You know, I didn't think I was going to be able to get a boulder that size in this thing, especially without a claw, but I've got it just pinned up against the stabilizer bar. I'm going to try to get it behind the pond, behind the cabinet in the pond, way over there. I don't know if this will work. Well, I managed to get that rock in the pond, and part of it, it'll be an island. That's kind of neat. I'm going to try to go over there and pull it this way a little bit. I'd like to see if I could just rotate it, but I just don't think I can reach it. All right, I got the second one on board. The trouble is that ditch right there, you gotta ease back into that thing, and then to set the rock down, you gotta back up, pull the rock, and then pick it back up and set it back on that stabilizer bar. Got that rock sitting right there. That'll be at the peak of that heart. We're gonna go around this way, and it'll effectively make a peninsula to sit on. Poppy's over there watching me work. Well, not at the moment. It is August 24th, 2025, and I'm really surprised, but I got that pond in here. I can't believe it. I had to move the dirt like a couple of times because the machine is quite small. And I had a little breach right over there, but I couldn't reach it. It'll be fine. Not worried about it. It'll all settle. I got off that machine about 1 o'clock a.m. and I was on it again at 7:30 and done at 11:30. I'm more than likely going to put a gate right about there and make a little trail through the woods to get to that boulder, along with the fence. I'm going to extend the fence along the outside of this thing and up that hill right along the edge. I'll probably put a gate right there for the truck and then bring the fence right over to the other end of that gate next summer.